If you're in control, you can tell me when to come to work and when to get off. If you're in control, you can tell me where I can go and where I can't go. If you're in control, but if you ever discovered there's a business on the inside of you that you can tell yourself when to come in and when to go home. If you can ever discover that there's something God has put inside of you that takes you out of that box, that makes you greater than where you are, then you can call your own shot. Trying to keep you locked in. Because guess what? You being locked in is paying their bills. You being locked in is giving them a raise. You being locked in is giving them their promotion. They don't care whether you get free or whether you expand your horizons, because if you ever expand your horizon, that's just one more person Don't say nothing. Life is good. Don't say nothing, because this is going to get cut off. Don't say nothing. You got it made right now. Don't say nothing. Just ride it out. But there's something that's on the inside of you that says, I know who I am. I know, and this worked temporarily, but I know now who I am. And so I've got to try to get and to reach for something higher than where I am. I'm going to say this. There's a business, there's a creative idea that God has given you, but you won't work it because you're still locked in to other people telling you what to do. There's some ideas that it came to your mind that was God-given. And God said, if you would just do what I ask you to do, you wouldn't have no financial issues. But because we don't walk into that knowledge or walk into that faith, we get trapped into what other people say we can be and what other people say we can do. He cries out, but this is what I like about him. The more they told him to be quiet, the louder he got. Woo! That's when you know purpose is in you. That's when you know purpose. I got a purpose. Wait a minute. When they saying be quiet, you saying this ain't the way it's supposed to be. When they saying just go along with the program, you saying no. When they just say just go along to get along, you are saying no. There's something, because I got purpose on the inside of me, and my purpose just won't let me remain where I am. So if you tell me to be quiet, I'm going to holler the more. Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. be, you ought to cry a little louder. The more they tell you what you can't do, you ought to cry a little louder. The more they tell you about your limitations, you ought to cry. You ought to cry out a little louder. The longer they try to keep you captive, you ought to cry a little louder. Jesus comes by. He's crying out of all the people that's around. Jesus, he gets Jesus' attention. Now, Jesus wasn't just strolling by and he ain't had nothing to do, but Jesus was on his way somewhere. He was on his way somewhere. So for him to stop means that he put whatever he was doing on hold for this one man. That's what I like about him, is he'll put everything else on hold, or he'll control everything else and still look at where you are. He'll be doing something else and still has his eye on you. Jesus commanded the men, the disciples, to call him and to bring him to him. And the disciple says, get up, be of good cheer, because he's calling you. Wait a minute. I come to tell somebody, rise up, be of good cheer, because tonight the Lord is calling you. He's speaking right to where you are, and he's trying to get you from where you are to where you want to be. He's trying to get you. Oh my God. They told the man, get up, get up. The man got up, said, be of good cheer. In other words, don't worry about a thing, because the one that can change everything is calling you. Tonight, God is calling somebody to a new level. Tonight, God is calling somebody to a new change. Tonight, God is calling somebody to come out of their weakness, their disadvantage, and their disability, and to strive for something greater than where they are. Turn to your neighbor and say, he's calling you. He's calling you. He's calling you. How are you going to respond when he's calling you? How are you going to respond when he's calling you? How will you respond when he's calling you? But if you really want to be delivered, if you want to really be free, you will tell, here I come, Lord. Here I come. I'm broken. My mind is confused, but I'm coming. Don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, but tonight I'm coming. I don't know what's going to happen next week, but tonight I'm coming. And he's not calling me. That's why I like it. He called him and he was still blind. Wait a minute now. He didn't wait till after he got his sight to call him. He called him before he got fixed. Can I tell you, if people are worried about their flaws, he's calling you in your flaws. He's calling you in your mess. He ain't waiting for you to get wrecked and to get ready. He said, just like you are, I'm calling you, because without me, there is no change. Without me, there is no deliverance. Without me, there is no help. Yeah, he's calling you. He's calling you. He's calling. He's calling you. He's calling you. He sees where you have been. He sees where you are. And he's still calling. There's some folk that stop calling you when they seen you get so far down. There's some folk that stop talking to you when they saw how messed up you got. There's some folk that stopped associating with you when they saw how messed up you are. But he don't care how messed up you are. He's still calling. He's still calling. Ooh. Some of y'all was on crack and he called you. Some of y'all was drunk and he called you. Some of y'all just walked outside of the bar and he called you. Some of y'all was faking it in church and he still called you. Last point and I'm closing. When he heard the call, I'm in verse 50. The Bible said he threw away his garment. Wait a minute. The very thing that reminded him of what he was. The clothing, the wrap, the license that gave him the right to remain where he was. When Jesus called him, he just didn't take it off. The Bible said he cast it. Like, I'm done with it. I wonder, he's calling you, but God wants you to throw away the thing that has been keeping you handicapped and at disadvantage in the first place. When you're really ready for him to heal and to deliver and him to bless you, you will throw it away and say, here I come, because what I really want is to be whole. What I really want is to be whole. What I really want, it ain't about the money. It's about peace in my mind. It ain't about the title. I just want joy in my life. It ain't about status. It's about my relationship with you. It ain't about anything else. It's just about you, God. He threw off. He didn't come to Jesus with it on. The Bible said he took it off and then he went to Jesus. He took it off and then he went to Jesus. He cast it aside, then he went to Jesus. Can I tell you, you got the strength to cast it off, because some things, there's a desire in you to really be healed, to really be whole. So whatever I got to do, whatever's been keeping me captive, whatever's been keeping me in the same condition, I'm getting rid of it and I'm coming to Jesus.